Washington, D.C. area. It's the Inside Scoop, Emerald Planet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the Emerald Planet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello, and we're coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan, all around the globe. And we're bringing you the Emerald Planet from downtown Taipei. So thank you for being with us as we look around the globe in 143 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the products, and the services are making a difference in the 21st century. And the reason we're in Taiwan is that it's a global leader as far as technology and industry is concerned. It's been involved in the 186 different nations that are part of the UN, and it's making a real difference as far as working in mostly developing countries throughout the South Pacific, South America, and countries in Africa. And we're introducing to you what is called Global TIC. And I'm going to let Dr. Stephen Chan is going to be telling us what the Global TIC stands for. But he is the founding Secretary General for the Global TIC Association. And also he is a medical doctor with the Taipei Medical University Hospital in Taiwan. Stephen, welcome to the Emerald Planet.
Welcome to Taipei, Sam.
It's always good to be here. I think this is about my 20th time in your beautiful country.
Yes.
And you've hosted me at least 3 times. And so we're glad to have you on the Emerald Planet. But tell us about what is Global TIC? What does it stand for and why is it important?
Okay. Global TIC is actually an entrepreneurship platform for young entrepreneurs coming from all over the world. But back to the year of 2004, actually we have a very good nationwide entrepreneurship platform named TIC 100. So we do it.
Now, TIC stands for what? I know it's Talentpreneur, okay, which is a
yes, okay.
Interesting
TIC
word.
stands for Technology Innovation Competition. Okay, but
and of course I added another C into that, as you know, called collaboration.
Yes,
because you guys are the ultimate as far as collaboration.
Right. So we just moved from technology innovation competition to we call it Talentpreneur and innovation collaboration.
I love it.
Yeah,
those are great terms.
We think that we have to bring and integrate all kinds of resources in Taiwan from public sectors and private sectors from different segments of the industries.
And also you were very actively involved in the NGOs too, non-government organizations in Taiwan.
Right. So we do it all the way for the NGO role play. Okay, so we have to getting sponsorship from different kinds of enterprises and including different departments of the government.
Well, how I was introduced to the Global TIC, and which was TIC Americas, was in Honduras, is where I met your team for the very first time.
In 2009.
And so you guys have been expanding out very aggressively throughout South America, Asia, and also in Africa. What are some of the countries that you're actually working?
The biggest organization is OAS.
Which is the Organization of American States.
Right. And which chapter called the YABT belongs to OAS is our allies back to the year of 2004.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just work with guys in YABT to walk through the games of the rules of the games for young entrepreneurs.
Well, let me put in here what YABT is. That's Young America's Business Trust, and it's absolutely a fantastic organization, headquartered in Washington, D.C., but operates through all 34 nation states, which are members of the OAS, just for background.
Yes. So the YABT they host the 34 countries union entrepreneurship platform for youngsters, for young people, young entrepreneurs in Latin.
Well, we're saying young, but actually, my understanding it's 18 to about 36. So it's a broad range
Yes.
of people. They're out of high school, many of them out of university, and working to establish their own businesses because South America, as in Africa and Asia, the real future is establishing your own business and then your age cohorts to provide jobs for people coming in. And I understand that Global Tech, this is really what you do because you have this very intense competition that people have to engage in within their home country.
Yes.
And then they come to the regional basis, like in South America or Africa.
Yes.
And then they go to the international, which is normally held here in Taipei.
Yes. We actually just brought our models for entrepreneurship campaign worldwide. Okay, so we work with YBT to set up the ticket makers for the 34 countries, young people, to help them, to assist them, to introduce them different kinds of resources to build up their own business locally.
Well, I think this is one of the things too, Stephen, that we were talking about is that what you're adding into this mix now is maybe access to financing for those that are competing at the international level. And as we know, one of the main impediments as far as developing of these is money, 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 and money.
Yes.
And so you're solving that problem now, or attempting to solve it.
In a way, right. We try to introduce some funding sources from the VC or from other angels on our platform. Okay, so but we still have to culture, to incubate all the young entrepreneurs on the platform, and we try to set some conference and meeting with the VC guys or investment bank guys to introduce their funding resources for the young entrepreneurs.
Well, also too, I know that one of the really very fast
Their young entrepreneurs. So they have set up a entrepreneurship association for Mongolian young people, young entrepreneurs. And the Global Tech helps Mongolia to set up Tech Mongolian Association to help their green business development. Say they have some mining resources.
Well, they have extensive mining resources.
Right, but they are facing other dilemma with the pollution, air pollution, or the water pollution, etc. So we try to introduce them the technology solution from Taiwan, so they can add up into their solution projects in Mongolia.
Well, looking at the going beyond Mongolia, I know that you're really incorporating this on a global basis. What are some of the efforts that you're doing actually on Taiwan to interface with the private businesses that may have interest in these young entrepreneurs in Africa, Asia, and also the traditional base that you've had in South America?
As we know that now it is a global village, so no matter the size of your enterprises is big or small, so in a way, they have to look at the different markets in Latin America or in Africa, in Europe. So we try to build up this platform, Global Tech, for all the stakeholders. Once they get on our platform, then they can get the resources to enter different new markets. Okay, and they can at the same time introduce their resources on this platform for all all the young entrepreneurs in different countries.
Well, it's really very exciting that what you're doing, and I know working with these private businesses, and what you're doing, as I understand it, is that you're actually introducing these young entrepreneurs to the businesses before they actually even come into Taiwan for the international competition. So looking at that as going in advance and talking with them, how are you trying to introduce these young people into these businesses on Taiwan?
We do it on our website, and through internet we introduce them before they get to Taipei first. For example, we have ASUS Computers, which is a global branding computer company based in Taiwan. So they can have the idea of what ASUS does or what ASUS want to market their products, their new products into different countries. So they can brainstorm some solution projects just before they come to Taipei.
So what they're doing then is they're actually developing their own project. It could be in housing, it could be in renewable energy, it could be water, sanitation, any of these areas. But at the same time, you're saying you have these opportunities. These are private companies in Taiwan or public agencies that can collaborate with you. But at the same time, they may want to have a stream into it. We've just ran out of time. And thank you for being with us on the Emerald Planet as we come to you.
Around the world, 1 out of every 3 women will be beaten or otherwise abused in their lifetime, often by a family member or loved one. A future free from violence. It's all she's ever wished for.
Did you know you have the power to stop children from joining gangs? You can help a father find a job and home for his family. You can assist a woman who can't afford the medicine she needs to live and the home she can't live without. You can choose to make a difference in our community. Support Volunteers of America, and you can help improve the lives of nearly 2 million Americans each year with programs and services that help individuals and families overcome their challenges to become as independent as possible. Support the programs that are working in our community. Contact Volunteers of America today. Call 1-800-899-0089.
For some folks, saving for the future is easy, but for you, it might take a little more effort. Saving for your future is your responsibility, and there's a lot to save for.
I never thought of that.
Like your child's education, perhaps uncovered medical expenses, or just to be sure you can live the way you want when you retire. The time is now to save for tomorrow. Save now or work forever. The choice is yours. Choose to save.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, coming to you from downtown Taipei and the beautiful country of Taiwan as we travel around the globe to 143 different nations looking for the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. As many of you know, Taiwan has been a leader as far as technological development, manufacturing, and innovation in telecommunications for the last almost 60 years. And so being a very dynamic culture and society, as well as a business environment, we wanted to come over and look at some of the best practices, and we've been traveling around the island, looking at what is going on. And as you know, one of our hosts while we're here is called Global TIC, and we're going to explain that to you in just a minute. I have Dr. Hancock who is sitting beside me. He is the president of Intelligent Global Consulting Corporation, and also he is the founding vice chairman and supervisor for Global TIC Association. Dr. Huang, welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Glad to have you here. Dr. Huang, tell us a little bit first about your own company, and then we're going to talk about Global TIC, of course. That's what brought you out this early in the morning, since we arrived about 5:30 a.m., and I said good afternoon to make you feel better.
Yeah.
But Intelligent Global Consulting, what is it that you do?
Okay, this is a company I established in 2003, aiming for helping company for international business. So we are doing business and management consulting, helping a lot of companies to go abroad to do business with their partners around the world.
Well, I know that Taiwan has really been very aggressive, and I'll use that term aggressive, going around the world and working with a number of different governments and also NGOs and private businesses. Why would you want to establish a business that is so global in its reach from the very beginning?
Based on my earlier career experience, I worked for Hewlett Packard for 23 years.
Oh, what a great background.
Yeah, and my last job with HP was the president of HP Taiwan. Before that, I also took various positions of management in Asia Pacific.
Well, that really gave you a good footprint from which to work and as far as establishing your own global consulting company. Now, moving to Global TIC, we briefly described that earlier, but what is Global TIC? What does the acronym stand for? And then we're going to talk about how does Intelligent and Global TIC work together to develop young entrepreneurs all over the globe.
Yeah, when we review the history of this association, actually it came from the idea of a listed company, Advantech. Advantech is a computer company making industrial computer, but the founder and the chairman, Mr. K.C. Liu, is my good friend. And he had a vision to start a program called TIC 100, which is the program encouraging young people to do business plan and entrepreneur campaign.
And the TIC stands for, as in the early days, was technologies, innovation, and collaboration, which I added that C for you. Yeah. But the Global TIC really is a worldwide competition.
Right. And after 7-8 years successful implementation of TIC 100, they were well received in the Taiwan community, particularly in the technology communities. The founders, Mr. Liu and a few managers, decided to expand their contribution to the society. So they came to me to discuss whether we could form an association to invite more entities, governments or private entities to join these efforts. We had a series of good meetings. I helped inviting government officers, business leaders to sit down and discuss. And at that time, we think that Taiwan has joined WTO, so it would be a good opportunity for using the valuable experience to help other countries.
Well, I know that Taiwan and the business leaders here, I first came to Taiwan in 1974. So I've been coming here for a long time, but also I started coming back on an annual basis with the International Management Council, the IMC. And so many of the principles that I saw with the IMC in Taiwan coming out from the United States actually is incorporated in your Global TIC. And so there's the wealth of knowledge on Taiwan and all these private businesses, and of course within many of the government ministries.
Right. So when it comes to time to discuss the name, we think technology may not include all the ideas that we would like to see.
Which goes really to the innovation.
Right, innovation. So entrepreneur seems a better word for helping people to understand our organization. And we also put talent in front of entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's really a clever word, this talentpreneur.
Talentpreneur and then innovation, collaboration.
Yeah, and then of course with the global competition, and I think we're down to maybe about 1 minute we have left on that. What would you like to share with our domestic and international audience in the last minute that we have that really combines what your company is doing and Global Check?
My company is helping a lot of new company, new startup to do international marketing. And I also observed that so many smaller companies are lack of resources and expertise to help expanding their business in international marketplace. So this is what I can also help Global Tech of helping smaller companies, the young generation, to exchange their product services, which may help create a better global village.
Well, I think what we're talking about this global village, and I really like the way that you mentioned that, Dr. Hong, and then also Stephen Chen had talked about that as well, is that you're really bringing about a world community and doing it through, again, technology, innovation, and collaboration. So let's check on our time here and see how much time we have left. And so we're winding down. Thank you for being with us as we come to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We have 4 minutes left. Oh, we still have some time.
Yeah.
We're about ready to close ourselves out. We normally have the music coming in right at the very end. Looking at as far as the your experience with the Global Tech, then what has been some of your experiences working with the young people? When we say young people, we really need to qualify that because these are 18 to 36 years of age in most cases. So what has been your experience of working with them?
It's quite exciting or amazing to be among a group of young entrepreneurs. They are so energetic and with a strong spirit to learn because Global Tech provides excellent experts or mentors to help them on various questions such as financial planning, how to get the necessary money to start up their company, how they can get to know the prospects, the customers, those kind of things, very fundamental to it.
Well, I tell you, I was very impressed. I was, of course, I worked with your teams in the latter part of, 2007, 8, 9, and different areas of South America. And then I came to the Global Tech here in 2009, and it was just amazing the number of corporate executives are willing to come in and give up their free time during the week, but also on the weekends to work with these entrepreneurs. And they were coming from literally all over the globe, from Africa, from Asia,
Yes.
South America. And this feeling of collaboration was very real. I mean, you could almost just see it in the room.
Yes, I think probably this is a new phenomenon of the world. Yeah, you wouldn't have seen it before.
Right.
But now people feel very easy to get together, to exchange ideas, to share their experiences.
Well, looking at this whole thing as far as the Global Tech is concerned and your own company, I think what Dr. Stephen Chen was looking at is actually to even introduce these young entrepreneurs coming out of these different countries before they even arrive in Taiwan. Have you had a chance to investigate that idea and maybe even be looking at some of their business plans before they actually come for the competition here in Taipei?
Usually when I was invited to be the judge, I would review several cases. I went to the first American TIC in 2007. That was the time the first TIC competition was held in Latin America. And I was invited to be the judge. So I went through the reading of their detailed plan.
Well, I tell you, you've been very active in doing all this, and that takes a great responsibility. Although I did try to jump the gun earlier. I was looking at the clock over here. We have about 30 seconds. What would you like to leave with the domestic and international audience about Global TIC?
Okay, we expect,
30 seconds.
Yeah, we expect that people can come to help expanding the contribution to the communities. Because I see excellent ideas in the competition of either energy or healthcare or any ideas helping the community to become better. We invite people who are concerned about those issues to come to help.
Well, I think it's absolutely fantastic what you're doing. And also, too, Intelligent as the Global Consulting Corporation is making a real contribution to everything that is going on. So thank you for being with us. And as we come to you from Taipei, Taiwan, as we look around the globe, great.
Smoke it before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about ripped off life. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Only you can prevent wildfires. Fire.
Why don't you just wash your car at home?
When I wash my car, everything runs down the street and down into the storm drains. With all the chemicals in the soaps and waxes, the last thing I want to do is poison my own drinking water. At least here, it's all contained and recycled on site. That's why I also take my car in for oil changes instead of doing it myself. I might take a chance on spilling stuff. You know what the best part is?
What?
More time to kick back and watch the game.
How far would you go to protect the planet?
I want you to build an ark.
Here we go. Okay, that's good. Oh, okay. Ow!
Maybe there's another way.
People, the flood is imminent!
Is it too much to ask for a little precipitation?
Go to fightglobalwarming.com to find out what you and your community can do to reduce global warming pollution.
Too many women get hit by their boyfriends and husbands. Too many women are pressured into having unprotected sex. Half of the people in the world living with AIDS are women. It doesn't have to be this way. Together, we can change this reality. Let's strive for a world free of violence.
At Volunteers of America, we don't just give kids a way to stay off the streets. We give them the tools they need to reach their full potential. We don't just help the elderly receive needed care. We help them live life to the fullest. We don't just provide food for homeless individuals and families. We provide job training and placement so they can buy groceries. Volunteers of America is a national organization that for over 100 years has provided programs and services that allow people to overcome their challenges to become vital members of their community. At Volunteers of America, we don't just help people, we help people help themselves. Find out how you can support the programs that are working in your community. Contact Volunteers of America today. Call 1-800-899-0089.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, coming to you from downtown Taipei, Taiwan, as we look around the globe through the Emerald Planet, normally broadcasting out of Washington, D.C. So we're coming to you from Skype, so if you have a little space or delay in there, you know why that case is, because we're traveling to you about 10,000 miles to be broadcast through our studios there in Washington, D.C. But we're looking in Taiwan. Taiwan has been a leader for technology, telecommunications, and business development. And I should add on that finance for many countries throughout Latin America, Asia, and Africa. And so we have a number of business leaders and also an organization called Global TIC that we're here and has been working with us in our time that we're in Taiwan. And I have a gentleman sitting beside me who is a part of a very exciting organization that actually I just learned about through this trip. Dr. John C. Lee is the chairman of what's called the DCB, and that's the Development Center for Biotechnology. And also he is the chairman and the vice chairman for Global TIC here in Taipei, Taiwan. So John C., welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about the DCB. This is really exciting information.
Well, that's a non-profit organization aiming at research and development for biotechnology. And the technology developed will be commercialized and trying to develop a new sector of the industry, that is biotechnology. You know, that biotechnology will be important because of the healthcare will be one of the major issues globally.
Well, this is one of the things I don't know how many speeches. It's kind of like I get up at 7 in the morning and they say it's time to go to bed about 1 the next morning, but I've been giving speeches all over Taiwan. And one of the things that we're talking about is what we're calling now the new age population. Everybody keeps calling them elderly, but I'm here to say, John C., is when you see the energy, the dynamics, and the volunteerism that you have here in Taiwan, it's absolutely incredible, the energy you have in this country.
Yes, we are, I think one of the characteristics of Taiwan is that we have many small and medium-sized enterprises, and that provides a lot of dynamics to the economy.
Well, I think some part of the dynamics that you have here, Taiwan, like China, like many countries now, have very rapidly aging populations. I guess we ought to use the word mature. It's probably more politically correct. But I know that what you're doing is that you're tapping into the corporate leadership that you have in Taiwan. But I know that you also use a number of retirees that have sterling backgrounds in business, NGOs, and the government that are working with this organization called Global TIC.
Yes.
And so looking at this Development Center for Biotechnology, how is that working with Global TIC, and how do you see the match between these two nonprofits?
Well, I think DCB is basically an institute that develops new technology, new innovations. But for every technology you develop, you need to know how to commercialize it, how to make it more available to more people. And Global TIC is an organization that is trying to cultivate and to facilitate the startup companies. This is very important for developing biotechnology industry. And so by linking DCB with the Global TIC, this is one of the important way of commercializing the innovation that was created at DCB.
Well, looking at the DCB, give us a little history. I know that this is something that's fairly new, And what type of companies or universities or research institutes that may be working with the DCB and the collaboration that you may be leading to do all of that?
Well, DCB was set up in 1984.
So it's actually as an old company then.
Right, 28 years now. It was focused on not the basic research, but how to bring the basic research to commercialization, to the actual clinical practice that will benefit patients, benefit people. So we are really the bridge between university and industry. So we work intensively with industries, and on the other hand, with universities. So
well, this is really a model then, John C., as far as having this bridge between the universities, because usually you think of that as more teaching, research, but not actually commercializing all of that, and then taking it into the private industry. So what you're doing is actually you're in the middle actively joining the universities and the private business together as the technology is evolving.
Yes. Yes,
oh, that's very innovative.
Right, right. And some of the technology in biotechnology area that really count on startup companies to move the technology forward. And there are many of them happening every day. So just for just example that we are working on gene sequencing human genomes so that we can tailor medical treatment to individuals, so we can personalize our treatment. And that kind of technology is leveraging Taiwan's semiconductor. We thought about biotechnology, and that looks like it has nothing to do with information technology or semiconductor, but they do, because we use semiconductor to detect the signal coming out of our sequencing gene. Well, so that can make the gene sequencing very effective, very speedy, very cost effective, so that it will be more available to more people.
Well, I know as far as like with Parkinson's disease and the onset of Alzheimer's and all that, this is really a movement that's needed to marry this technology, computers and engineering into the health field. And so this is really a leading edge technology that you're developing.
Yeah, another example would be like now we are using internet, we're using telecommunications. How can we use the wireless communication to help the blind people? And this wireless aids, wireless assistance to blind, it is becoming a very important area of innovation too, because through the internet wireless communication, they are directed to go in different directions to do different things.
Well, looking at this too, John C., as far as the telemedicine, you know, this is really a huge movement. And of course, Global TIC has been working with all 34 nations, the OAS, the Organization of American States. And some like Peru, Chile, Bolivia have been very big as far as telemedicine. So how is telemedicine being part of the DCB? And then how may that translate into some of these young entrepreneurs coming out of South America and now more Asia and Africa to collaborate?
Well, I think that's part of our why we moved from TIC 100, which is more Taiwan locally oriented program, to a global TIC. When you move into a more global participation, it's not just benefiting more people, but also you introduce more different perspectives, different talents with a different cultural background. That itself creates creativities. That stimulation from different background also help to innovate, and also help them to connect and to be able to move any technology to a broader market, broader potential that benefits people.
Well, I was really excited last night. We were here and working with Dr. Chen as far as getting everything set up and putting all the computers and all that together. And in walks a gentleman from Belize that has actually been here for 2 years. He's here on a full scholarship in Taiwan. Now he's going to extend his stay because now he's in the active research part of what he's working on for his own home country. So I've seen the outcomes of this global TIC and how it's being very practically applied in Taiwan, and he's also working with several businesses here in your beautiful country. So how do you see, like this young gentleman and this focus in South America, how you're now expanding this into the various countries of Asia and Africa so that these continents are starting to benefit from the expertise of Taiwan?
I think it takes two to tango. It's not just us, but it's also them. And I think it's not very easy to tell the truth that expanding from one area to multiple countries takes a lot of resources and takes a lot of efforts.
And also it takes a lot of time.
Right. And most of us are volunteers. We can share knowledge, share experiences, but still it really requires a sponsorship from different countries, from their own enterprises or from their own government to be able to make the linkage a reality.
Well, I know when I was working with the representatives you have a global TIC in Honduras several years ago, they were they had a number of people there from Colombia, the country of Colombia in South America, and every one of the universities in Colombia was involved and had teams that were competing for the global TIC. That was impressive because there are a number of old universities, some of them go back 400 years, but they were involved in this new age moving forward with high technology through the global TIC relationship.
Yes. I was very excited to see that too. In 2005, the first time we expanded to APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, that introduced many different countries in South Asia, and most of them are very agricultural oriented, but that bring in a different perspective and their enthusiasm. Really, I was very touched, and I think the result was very good too.
Well, we only have about 15 seconds before we have to sign out. You know, the music comes on and we have to be quiet. What would you like to share with the domestic and international audience in about 15 seconds?
I think bringing different people with different ideas together.
Honestly, being with us, and thank you for being with us as we spread the planet and around the world. Thank you.
Too many women get hit by their boyfriends and husbands. Too many women are pressured into having unprotected sex. Half of the people in the world living with AIDS are women. It doesn't have to be this way. Together, we can change this reality. Let's strive for a world free of violence.
At Volunteers of America, we don't just give kids a way to stay off the streets. We give them the tools they need to reach their full potential. We don't just help the elderly receive needed care. We help them live life to the fullest. We don't just provide food for homeless individuals and families. We provide job training and placement so they can buy groceries. Volunteers of America is a national organization that for over 100 years has provided programs and services that allow people to overcome their challenges to become vital members of their community. At Volunteers of America, we don't just help people, we help people help themselves. Find out how you can support the programs that are working in your community. Contact Volunteers of America today. Call 1-800-899-0089.
Drivers face all kinds of distractions.
Guys, stop playing. No. 127 consecutive.
Before your wireless phone becomes one of them, stop. Drive safely. Keep your phone in easy reach and dial sensibly. In bad weather or traffic, call later and use a hands-free device. Remember, with wireless, safety is your call.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet, as we normally come to you from Washington, D.C., but this particular broadcast is coming from beautiful downtown Taipei, Taiwan. It's a great pleasure to be here. I believe this is my 20th time in this country since 1974, and the changes that has occurred in this country has been absolutely phenomenal. And the number of people that are involved in leading the way as far as finance, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurism really is a tribute to the people of Taiwan. And so as we're looking around the globe for those 1,000 best practices, many of those are actually here in this very progressive and dynamic society. And I have sitting beside me Professor Peter Liu, who is the Program Director of the National Program of Nanotechnology, NPNT. And that really is a mouthful, Professor Liu, but thank you for being with us on the Emerald Planet.
Thank you, Dr. Hancock.
Glad to have you with us. And of course, he's also been, he is the chair of Global TIC, and we'll talk about Global TIC in just a few minutes. But I want to talk about this national program on nanotechnology. That's really very exciting. I know it's quite leading edge in the world as far as what is going on. So tell us about your organization.
Okay. National Program on Nanotechnology is initiated by National Science Council in Taiwan. So every year we have the first priority budget of about $100 million.
Oh, that 100 million, that's real money.
And we support university research and also the research activity of research organization, and also support the industrial research.
So what you're doing then, Professor Wu, is you're really reaching into the university community, into private industry, and also research institutes. And so you're combining all those together on original research and development?
Yes, and we integrate the resources and coordinate different organizations. And the main focus of our program is to industrialize the high nanotechnology.
So what you're doing then is that you don't want just research for research's sake, but actually do research and hopefully as quickly as possible get this into the marketplace,
yes,
not only in Taiwan itself, but all over the globe.
Yes, so we also do globalization, our technology, to try to help the industry. So this is the main purpose of the program, and we have certain achievement. Now, Taiwan is one of the leading countries in nanotechnology activity and the nanotechnology emphasis.
Well, since you keep talking about this, Professor Wu, as far as nanotechnology, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Explain a little bit, in layman's terms, what is nanotechnology?
Okay. Nanotechnology is a kind of technology that handles very, very small scale particles. For example, some silver particle or gold particle, when it is become very small into the nanoscale, the characteristics will be different. So people use this kind of property to make many, many things, like special pen and even nanoelectronics.
Well, I know this is one thing as far as nanotechnology, where you're trying to economize, conserve the natural resources around the globe. Gold, silver, platinum, many of the rare earths are very expensive.
Yes.
And so if we can use far less of it at a very high speed and greater rate, then that's a benefit to all of society.
Yes. So that's the main purpose of the development of nanotechnology.
Well, really, what you're doing is what Emerald Emerald Planet's all about, this balance between the environment and the economy.
Yes.
So looking at the nanotechnology, how are you trying to balance having a good, clean environment, actually improve the environment, at the same time create more and more business as the population continues to expand?
Yes, that's one of the main focus of nanotechnology. So we try to apply nanotechnology to environment and energy. For example, use special nanotechnology material to clean the water for drinking and to save our environment.
Oh, I tell you, that's absolutely fantastic. And I know one of the things too in nanotechnology that's really moving forward, about 2.6 billion people, I shouldn't say million, billion people on the planet do not have access to adequate sanitation.
Yes.
And so this increases the incidence of diseases, particularly in low-income, poor communities.
Yes.
Is there any work that you're doing through your national program as far as sanitation itself is concerned, in dealing with wastewater?
Yes, yes. We developed, people developed many special nanomaterial for this purpose, and they can apply to real product to improve the environment. And we also established a collaboration with other countries like South Africa and many other countries as well.
Well, I know that one of the special emphasis that Taiwan has had for a number of years is really the South Pacific. And that's something that they're very small countries, like the Marshall Islands, the Solomons, the Micronesia, even Fiji and French Polynesia, and these other places. Yet they have a real problem with water, even though they're sitting in the middle of the ocean. Drinking water is a real problem. Sanitation is a huge problem. What are some of the leadership efforts that Taiwan is making in the South Pacific itself, both for water and wastewater?
I think the E3, we have an industrial technology research institute. They do the nanotechnology research very extensively. And in their development of nanomaterial for water treatment, I think they have a great success. And we try to promote this technology to become an industry and develop more.
Well, I think this is something, Professor Wu, that we'll need to talk with after the program, because as you know, the Emerald Planet is looking for these leading edge best practices, and it sounds like a number of those are actually with your national program on nanotechnology that we need to think about. But let's go into global TIC. I know that you're, as the chairman, so everybody says yes sir when you walk into the office. I saw that this morning. And so how does global TIC interface with your national program on nanotechnology?
Because in our program, we also support the university research. And then many students are involved in the research project. And we encourage them to have the new technology and transform the new technology into entrepreneurship. So that's a very important work of our national program. So with the Global TIC Association.
Well, looking at the universities, we've interfaced through Emerald Planet and own university we started here some years ago with about 20 universities, but you have an extensive university system on Taiwan for such a small country. And so how are you reaching out through your national program to across all of Taiwan?
Okay, because our national program has about 100 PI who carry the research project. And under the research project, there are so many students in different universities. So actually, we have an annual meeting to have them get together and exchange experience. And we emphasize the innovation and the entrepreneurship, and also the startup country we encountered.
Yeah, and I know you guys really are very innovative, if I can use that term, which is part of Global Tech, in the collaboration. So
yes.
the collaboration of Global Tech, how do you see that as not just a hallmark, but really the cornerstone of what it is that you're doing for Taiwan, but also all these other countries you're working with in Africa, Asia, and Latin America?
Yes. I think the value and the spirit of Global Tech has been extended to other countries as well. So we have seen that Tech Mongolia, Tech Belize has established in other Tech organizations in different countries. So we are very happy to share our experience to establish strong collaboration with these countries in this aspect.
Well, looking at your bio, and I have just a small portion of that, is quite impressive. And you've been very active over many years in Taiwan and also international collaboration. So how do you find the time for your national program with a $100 million US budget? I mean, that's a big budget. And at the same time, give time to Global Tech.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I have to handle my time, and we have a team working on national program. So we invite many professors to work together in our office to do the coordination work. Also, in our Global Tech Association, many volunteers work together with high patient and user. So should be a problem.
Well, I know Dr. Stephen Chen has been a good friend now for about 5 years, and he is a tremendous leader for Taiwan and also for the Global Tech.
Yes.
We are getting down to where we're just about running out of time. What would you like to share with our domestic and international audiences about Global Tech?
Okay. I hope to extend the spirit of and the value of the Global Tech to the whole world. So we can work jointly together to encourage our young generation to become an entrepreneur and to have their innovation and collaboration spirit in their career.
Oh, I think that's a very excellent summation. So I'm sitting here with Professor Peter Hu, who is a program director of the National Program of Nanotechnology. And I just wanted to say to our domestic and international audience, it's been a fantastic thing to be back in Taiwan as we create the